Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right at my YouTube channel in my living room, doing what I do for you. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. Hope you enjoy this one, but let's get this party started. Rather than 25 rules to live by, storytelling, story with a message in the story for life. I'm about to give you a lesson today. Hope you enjoy it. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little bit better with knowledge of self. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka knowing thyself. And that's the question I always ask before we start. Know thyself. You got a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I got something good for you. A person who knows not and believe that they know, keep it moving. Avoid them. They're dangerous. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know, I can awaken you with spiritual knowledge. I'm the spiritual alarm clock. I got the knowledge that'll wake you up. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Mayat, be true. Today, when I first started out doing my right thinking concepts, I pretty much used the book, read a few paragraphs and broke it down for you. I kind of like doing that, so today I'm gonna go back to that and see how you like it. If you don't mind, you can let me know what you thought about it. But let's go. It's gonna be a little longer than the normal writism, so this is a lesson. Sit down and hope you enjoy yourself. Get comfortable. That my man will get the popcorn because it's about to be a show. The title of this one is "Who is Netter?" Netter's ancient time is the symbol of Netter was described by ancient Kemetic sage as that which is placed in the coffin. It's a stick wrapped around with like mummified stick. Okay, but we have to break it down for you. See, I can break it down, but I like to read because when I read it, the impact you can get it like I get it. The term netter, they spell it NTR because read it and use the vowels ancient times. So you got to figure it out and understand it. You can supplement it. It's going to tell you all that too. See, the netter or netteru come from the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic language, which did not record vowels. However, the term survives in the Coptic language as Natur, Nutar. We know it as nature. The same Coptic meaning divine force or sustaining force. That's what Natur is. That's what nature is. Applies in the present as it did in ancient time. It's the same force today as it was back then. You can call it what you want, but that's what it is. They knew it. That's what we try. I'm trying to explain you all the information that we got now. They had that information back then. They just don't tell you about it. I'm going to tell you about it and see what you think and feel about that. It is a symbol composed of a wooden staff that was wrapped with strips of fabric, like a mummy. Okay? The strips alternated in color: yellow, green, and blue. Yellow for the sun, green for vegetation, and blue for the heavens. Okay. The mummy in Kemetic spirituality is understood, watch this, to be the dead but resurrected divinity. They knew God was in them and he couldn't die. It's a spiritual thing. So the nature is actually every human being who does not really die, but goes to live on in a different form. We run about scared to die because we're ignorant of who we are. That's why we suffer. Further, the resurrected spirit of every human being is that same divinity. Phonetically, the term netter is related to other terms having the same meaning in Latin, netera, Spanish, naturaleza, English, nature, and nutriment. etc. All these names, in a real sense, as we see, Neter means power manifesting as Neteru, and the Neteru are the objects of creation, in essence, nature. I explained to you, God shows himself through his nature. We don't make nature. That's a quick one. All right, moving down. Next paragraph going to explain something. What is Shita Neter? Now, that's the religious part of Neteru. The ancient Egyptians were African people who lived in the northeastern quadrant of the continent of Africa. Egypt is in Africa, yes. Northeast corner for my Masonic brothers. They didn't want you to go there. I went there. I'm still there. That's my point. They were descendants of the Nubians who had themselves originated from further south into the heart of Africa at the Great Lakes region, the sources of the Nile River. They created a vast civilization and culture earlier than any other society known in history. Organized a nation which was based on concepts of balance, aka Mayat, and order, Mayat, as well as the spiritual enlightenment. Again, Mayat. And spiritual enlightenment is Nihas. You're going to get to know that word too. These ancient African people called their land Kemet. And soon after developing a well-ordered society, they began to realize that the world is full of wonders. But life is fleeting, and there must be something more to human existence than just living. Watch this. So they developed a spiritual system. Not a belief system, a spiritual system that were designed to allow, watch this, human beings to understand the nature of this secret being who is the essence of all creation, aka God. They called this system spiritual system Shita Neter. This is what I follow. This is what I've been learning over the 30-year period. I understand, I fully comprehend what they're saying. I put my spin on it so I can teach it from a perspective and breaking it down. Some of this might not be interpreted and understood by the average person. So I try to read it and then break it down for you so you can understand it. Next one is the Supreme Being. We didn't call him God. They called him the Supreme Being. They gave a name. Ra, Amun. We still say Amen at the end of the prayer. Why do you think that is? I'll let that one stick. That's not the lesson right now. The lesson is I'm trying to get across who is a Neter. Break that down. What is Shita Neter? Break that down. I'm going to break down now the Supreme Being from their concept. And I got another paragraph or two. Then I'll be finished with you. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you got something out of this. Now, the Supreme Being is, you always see me, and if you follow me, everything is on the one. Supreme Being, the one. Everything comes from him. Everything. Except the one that we, matter of fact, he comes from him too. I ain't going to give him that credit. No, everything. All right, let's go over this one right quick. I'll be done with you. Appreciate you tuning in. God is the Father of beings, the Creator. God is the Eternal One and infinite and endures forever. They knew this thousands of years ago. This ain't from the Bible. This is before the Bible. This I'm trying to explain to my Christian followers. It's okay, but I study stuff that was predates the Bible. Understand that, please. And they tell you, God is hidden. Amen is hidden. And no man knows God's form. No man has been able to seek out God's likeness. We talk a good God game. Half of us don't have a clue, but it's all talk. God is hidden even to gods and men. God's names remains hidden. It is a mystery to his children, men, women, and gods. God's names are immutable, manifold, and no one knows their number. Though God can be seen in form of what? Observation of God can be made at God's appearance. God cannot be understood. God cannot be seen with mortal eyes. God is invisible and inscrutable to gods as well as men. This was portions from the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day that they called the Book of the Dead. This was the papyrus of Nisa Khonsu. Actual writings, actual people, actual concepts and view that they had thousands of years ago. Understand that. I'm about to wrap it up with the statement above gave the understanding that God is what? Unfathomable mystery behind all the phenomenon which cannot be discerned even by gods. However, God is the unfathomable mystery as well as the innermost essence of his children. If my Father is, and I'm of him, I am what he is. I am that I am. My Father and I are one. Sound familiar? This means that God is the transcendental, unmanifest, but also what is manifest as well. In order to perceive this reality, it is necessary to transcend ordinary human vision, meaning not these two eyes, the third eye, the inner eye. When this transcendental self is spoken about through different names and metaphors, you can call it what you want, you can give all kinds of stories about it, the idea often emerges that there are many faces to the ultimate divinity or supreme being that we can come up with, conjure. It don't make a difference. Nevertheless, as it has been previously discussed, it must be clear that all the Netherrean spiritual traditions are in reality referring to the same supreme being, that transcendental reality, God, the Almighty Supreme Being, whatever you want to call him. I call him the One. The following passage comes from the Egyptian Book of Coming Forth by Day, chapter whatever it is. I praise thee, Lord of the gods, God, one living in truth. God is truth. Truth is God. Knowledge is truth. Knowledge becomes God. Spiritual knowledge is understanding God. It's all God understanding. When you do that, you can live under his auspicious and do and be a good servant to him, so they can tell you good and faithful, good job, my faithful servant, whatever. But living right is how you take care of your godliness. You serving your God by doing what? His will. When you do you, we know how that go. All right, last one. I'm about to wrap it up. The following passage is taken from the hymn where Princess Nisa Khonsu glorifies Amen-Ra. Okay? Amen hidden, Ra the sun. They thought we worshiped the sun. No, we understood the sun was a gift from God, so we gave it his praise. We gave it his praise for what it is. It gives us life, sustains us, and puts us in a good position to sustains us on a day-to-day basis. Please. August soul, which came into being in primeval time, the great God living in truth. The first 9 gods who gave birth to the other 2 9 gods, the beings in whom every god exists, one, the creator of the kings who, almost done. Oh, here we go. Who appeared when the earth took form in the beginning, whose birth is hidden, whose forms are manifold, whose germination cannot be known. He is hidden. She-top means hidden. Netta. The netta is hidden, but you have to study him, know him, and recognize the things that he do to know him. Nature is right here. And if you follow this concept, the term is called Netarianism. It's derived from the name She-top Netta. What is Netarianism? The term Netarians is derived from the term She-top Netta again. Those who follow the spiritual path of She-top Netta, aka right thinking philosophy, are referred to as Netarians. When referring to the religion of ancient Egypt itself, the term Netarianism will be used. The term will be substituted for or will be used interchangeable with the term ancient Egyptian religion. They don't want to use the word religion, but they know that's what you understand, or the Kemetan religion or spirituality. All these are referring to the same thing. Netarianism, Shitat Neta, right thinking, ancient Egyptian religion, or Kemetic religion. Those who follow the spiritual path of Shitat Neta, right thinking, or philosophy are therefore referred to as Netarians. Okay, understand that. I appreciate you tuning in. That was a good lesson and understanding a few things. I hope the point was well understood. Try to get it reading to you. I'll be back with some more. That's what I do. I'm teaching you now. Hope you learn it.